Yo! What is going down, everybody? It's Unbeatable Jacob. And no, this is not a photoshopped video. This is not a fake video. I actually did it. I went ahead and grinded level 40 already for the Galaxy Opal Ming. If you guys are new around here, please hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 followers on YouTube, and we're trying to upload every day. I missed a few days, but that is because I was busy streaming like 12-hour shifts on Twitch this weekend, going ahead and getting the XP done for this Ming. Now, I'm not here to tell you whether this card's worth it. I'm not here to tell you if I think that he's the best center in the game. You're gonna have to make your mind up for that yourself. He's a very niche card. Lots of people have done gameplays on them. That's up to you. What I'm here for today is to tell you how I did this as fast as possible. Now, did I do it as fast as you possibly could? No. But since I did it, I now have the information necessary to tell you guys the mistakes I made and how to do it even faster. So, this card is available right now if you did the Showdown XP. Now, I kind of just want to give you a rundown of what XP I didn't do and what XP I did do. So right now there's about 160k available, which means I wasn't in necessarily need of doing all of them, all the challenges, but pretty much all of them. As you can see, I didn't even touch Unlimited, didn't play a single game of Unlimited. I played 30 games of Clutch Time, didn't get the 50 games or even 35 done. And I did 50 out of the 60 triple threat offline games. Everything else did get finished. So if you look at my completed season agendas, I did the signature series. I played the 40 games of Limited. I did all of the heat check, all of the tip off, the rewards, and then also had the showdown. So I'm going to break this down to you guys about the first couple tips and tricks that I think made this go by fast. And then I'm going to give you guys kind of a few off the wall type of ideas as well. So first things first, these heat checks are going to be the biggest pains and definitely the most kind of intricate to do. So what I did for these heat checks is I started with these ones down here that say win a game using 5 Jazz players, 5 Knicks players, etc., etc. And what I did is I made a team that had 2 of the teams needed and 5 cards for each of them. So I actually sold back one of my Warriors players, but it looked something like this, right? Where you had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th Warriors player for heat check, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Suns players for heat check. So you're banging out 2 of those agendas that make you do 5 players from each team at once. And then I would put in a card that needed XP, like say Pink Diamond Kyrie in this position right here, and move Steph to the bench. The players don't even need to touch the floor. You just need to have 5 heat checks from each team. And then what I would do is I'd go into the single player challenge right here, this one, Signature Series 4, and play this and finish the game in under a quarter. Because with this challenge, this game is going to end once you score 25 points with a player. So typically it would take me like a quarter and some change to score 25 points with one of the signature series cards that needed XP. For example, Kyrie at point guard. And then I would stack that by, throwing in a center that needed blocks or something along those lines. But that's how I would do that. And realistically, that went by pretty quick compared to the other stuff. Because I was able to do those in a quarter apiece, knocking out 2 teams at once. And I think there's only 10 or 15 of the ones that need 5 players. Not even. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or something. So I only had to do that 5 times. And that took me like probably 30 or 40 minutes to bang all of those out. For these TTO games, these are as cut and dry as possible. You have to win a TTO game with 3 heat check players. The piece of advice that I will give you is don't cheap out on the cards, because a lot of these teams, it took longer for me than it should have because I had like the world's worst cards. If you guys were in the stream for when I did the Heat one, I didn't have to use, I purposely bought the cheapest ones and ended up using like Udonis Haslem, Dwayne Dedman, and Caleb Martin, and I got popped like 2 or 3 times in a row by the CPU and I was losing my mind. So when you do those, don't cheap out. Don't do it with Josh, Christopher, and KPJ. Like, go get yourself at least one person that you're comfortable you can score with, especially because it's really not that much more expensive at all. So don't cheap out on these triple threat ones. You know, I was doing it with dudes like Ben McLemore and, you know, cards like that. Go ahead and get yourself like players that you actually think you can score with, or at least one, because, you know, when you're trying to win a triple threat offline game with Josh Hart 78 overall as your primary scorer, it's not going to go as fast as if you just get yourself a Brandon Ingram, you know, or somebody who you actually think can maybe score the ball a little bit. So don't cheap out on those, because it's just going to only take more time and you can sell the cards back anyways. That, I would say, is a huge piece of advice. Another thing about these as well, these heat checks, is you got to score a bunch of points with the heat check players. Again, do these while you do other things. So stack these with, say, maybe the triple threat offline games you need, or stack them with these right here, because you have to do these spotlights. Some of these are pretty long where you have to play a full game on pro difficulty for like 5-minute quarters. Stack those up as well. But other than that, everything's pretty self-explanatory. These limited games were a drag. You know, if you didn't do these, you're gonna have to wait till next weekend anyways. Pretty much what I did is I would go into a game. If I realized that no matter what I did, the person wasn't gonna quit in the first quarter, I would just quit out myself and find a new game. And I was just using like a pretty stacked lineup to kind of scare them off and be able to get quits anyways. Like, this was my limited lineup, just a bunch of crazy reward cards that had Hoff Interceptor. I obviously didn't have Yao yet, so I was using like Mo Lucas, and I was just trying to get them rattled and get them to quit as fast as possible. But that's pretty much it, man. Like, everything else is just like, you gotta pick something and do it. That's one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people have a hard time with when it comes to Season XP, is like, people kind of get overwhelmed when they see all this stuff and they don't know where to start. And the biggest thing is just picking something, saying, yup, this is what I'm doing, and doing it. And that's really it though, guys. These heat checks are going to be the toughest ones. Kind of put you on the sauce that I can give you for these, you know. Don't cheap out on the triple threat games. They'll only go faster. Stack these, do 2 at once, and go from there. I know a lot of people have struggled with these gold wins, win a game with 13 golds, 13 sapphires. Same exact thing. This challenge right here is going to be your best friend. It ends after you score 25 points. Pretty much what I did for like the gold ones was just throw in a bunch of gold cards, ran plays to get Darvin Ham open. And if you guys know me and watch my streams, you know when I'm playing online, I'll never touch a play. But when you're grinding XP and offline, get the Magic playbook, run stuff like quick point 2, punch 21 delay. It's just going to make the CPU like not be on your ass as much, because we all know in 2K22 the CPU defense is pretty ridiculous. So that's pretty much the only advice I got for you guys, really. Above all, I would say the biggest things are stack XP with the heat check ones, especially stack them up. Don't cheap out on the heat check cards. Don't cheap out on the the signature series either. When you have to score 500 points with a signature series card, or get 150 assists, don't try and do it with Ruby Corey Joseph. Go get yourself Pink Diamond Kyrie. He's still pretty affordable, and then you're gonna have to get points with a Pink Diamond anyways. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's really all I can tell you. Stack as much as you can. Use that 25 point challenge, and just pick something and start doing it, man. But yeah, we got Yao. We actually did it, man. Top grinder Jacob. I have no idea what the lineup's going to look like from now. All I know is I am taking a decent break from 2K. I appreciate you guys. I hope this helped, and I'll be back soon.